The FAA is shorthanded in New York City, and the NTSB releases prelim report on the CASA 212 in which the co-pilot fell from the plane in North Carolina. This and more aviation news on Taking Off. Hi, Dan Milliken here, and the pear tree is ripe and we're pulling the fruit off, and Newfoundlands do like pears. You know, the heat has made it harder here in Texas. But before we get to the aviation news, I want to thank our sponsors that make all this possible. Colton Mortgage, ColtonTakingOff.com for that residential refi mortgage. FlyingEyesOptics.com, where the discount code TakingOff, all caps, one word, will get you 10% off your order. And Marshall Protective Services at MPSProtects.com. Now on to the aviation stories. The FAA warned the public on August 15th that staffing shortages would affect and disrupt travel in the New York City airspace. They had announced that it was reducing flights in the area around New York City and that you could expect 2-hour delays at JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. By late that afternoon, LaGuardia was seeing stoppages at just over an hour and Newark at 44 minutes. And by the evening, it was pretty much back to normal as the FAA tweeted that they got some additional staffing help in. The next day, President Biden signed into law a bill that provided additional staffing, but for the IRS in the way of 87,000 armed agents to help collect taxes. Well, and that number is being disputed about the 87,000, so to name the source, I'm referring to the May 2021 Treasury Department report that estimated the IRS could hire 86,852 employees with nearly $80 billion in additional funding, which is exactly what they got. But it's not for sure that they'll use that money to hire an army of armed enforcers. I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments below on this one. That's okay. I can take it. All right, keep it aviation. The NTSB has released the prelim report on the CASA 212 November 497 Charlie Alpha that was substantially damaged when landing at Raleigh-Durham. This is the one where the co-pilot, the second in command, or SIC, jumped or fell from the plane while it was at 3,500 feet. The CASA 212, a twin-engine high wing with a ramp out the back, is used for freight hauling and for jump operations. The plane had completed 2 jumps with the parachutist exiting out the ramp in the back of the plane and was coming in to pick up the 3rd batch of jumpers at Rayford West Airport. The SIC was the pilot flying the approach when the airplane descended below the tree line, and both pilots called for a go-around, which the SIC initiated. However, before the SIC could arrest the sink rate, the airplane's right main landing gear hit the runway, and the PIC assumed controls as they continued to abort. They did a pass of the airport to have ground personnel inspect the gear, and it was confirmed that the right main landing gear was damaged and that pieces were on the runway. With the PIC, now the pilot flying, and the SIC working radios and assisting, they declared an emergency and headed for the bigger Raleigh-Durham airport for an emergency landing. And while en route, the SIC continued to work the radios, and they prepped and planned for the emergency landing. And the PIC reported that they had some moderate turbulence, and that 20 minutes into the diversion to RDU, the SIC, according to the PIC, may have gotten sick out the window. The PIC took over radio communications, and the SIC removed his headset, and I'll read from the NTSB report here. He removed his headset, apologized, and departed the airplane via the aft ramp door. The PIC turned the airplane to the right to search for the SIC, and then a minute and a half after the SIC exited the aircraft, the PIC notified ATC that the co-pilot had departed the plane without a parachute. The PIC in the report does mention there's a bar that one could grab at the top of the ramp, but that he did not witness the SIC grabbing the bar. And those are the facts as written on the NTSB report. And like I said before, I'm not going to speculate on reasons why the events occurred. Let's let the investigation run its course. I still have not confirmed whether that audio that we played last week is accurate or not. And now for something lighter. Came across this Instagram video and it's downright brilliant. If airlines were people. Link will be in the description. You got to check it out. That's the aviation news right now. Thanks, Chewy. We're continuing to push out all the great content we shot at AirVenture. We still have interviews with Top Gun aerial pilot Kevin LaRosa coming out this Friday. Interviews with Missionary Bush pilot and a special announcement from Baron pilot, all coming in the future, so keep watching. Also, as Chewy drinks a lot of water. We'll have pears make you thirsty. We'll have a follow-up on the Keith Green crash, a special on the John Denver crash, and still more videos from our Flying Eyes UK trip. Thanks again to all our sponsors, and you can support us by supporting them. Remember, superior judgment trumps superior skills. Stay safe.
Chewy.